Gentlemen, women love a competent man. Most of the time, they want a man who just gets it. In this video, I'm going to tell you how to build sexual tension with a woman in a natural way that makes you appear competent. These can be used on a date or if you meet a girl in a bar setting, provided that it's just you and her, as it's difficult to build sexual tension with a woman who's with her friends. Number one, slow down your movements. Slowing down movements is not only a display of confidence, it is creating a sexual vibe. Don't move in a way that appears deliberate. Comfortably move slowly. Think human movements. Slow movements create anticipation. There is no tension without anticipation. Touch her slow, speak slow, react slow. Don't appear in a rush. Number two, you have to break the touch barrier. Now, I'm not suggesting you come up and grab her butt or anything. But if you meet her, you have to break the touch barrier. Touch creates safety and builds comfort. A lot of men are scared to break the touch barrier because of sexual harassment. That's where body language comes in. The point is getting her used to your touch. Touch her, encourage her to touch you. My third tip for building sexual tension is use words to create imagery. Women have an affinity for words, much like men have an affinity for the physical. Soften up your voice. Speak slow. It's not so much what you say, but it's how you say it. Express your desire to her through your words, provided there's enough tension. You can tell her what you want to do to her. Learn to make your voice sensual and inviting, but firm and confident. Develop your sexy voice. Men are concerned with giving a woman validation and or appearing needy. But if you're too standoffish and reserved, the woman will reject you anyway. I'm not suggesting you kiss her butt or anything either. If you build sexual tension successfully, sex becomes easy, provided logistics are right. You have to take a risk to build sexual tension. You have to appear vulnerable. Think what you have to gain because you're not losing anything. Okay. I'm going to go about the voice situation. This is basically my sexy voice. I'm going to do a little skip for y'all. Hey, how you doing tonight? How was your night, Dawn? Your night's good. That's good to hear. So what's up with that dress? You look real good in that dress. I like your shit. You see, the voice is very, very sensual, very slow, very calm. That's a sexy voice. I don't want you guys coming up like don't like do that. Your voice is slow. It's like I don't want like a high pitched voice. That's not what I mean by soften up your voice, but it's like it's very calm. It's very it's nice and relaxed. Almost like, late night DJ voice. Think late night DJ voice. That's how you want to talk to her. Now with the touch thing, you have to touch a woman to build sexual tension. I don't care how great the night is going. If there's like no touching, then it's not an opening for a sexual situation. And like a lot of times the kiss at the end of the date depends on the touching. Sometimes I'll encourage a woman to like sit next to me, and sometimes while she's talking to me, I'm listening to her and stuff like that, and we're having a conversation, and I'm slowly rubbing her thigh. I'm gonna be slowly rubbing her thigh. We're close to each other. I'm just like rubbing on her thigh real nice and slow, nothing too crazy, but it's just like, kind of getting her in that mood. It's foreplay. It's foreplay. So, that nice soft voice with the touching, it's foreplay. Now, you want to gradually build up touch. Obviously, like 1 minute you like, hey, how you doing tonight? If you're on a date, you can just like, hey, how you doing tonight? And you give her a hug and stuff like that. You put your hand on her lower back, like you're not automatically, grabbing butt, but you maybe place your hand on her lower back. Most of the time, if a girl has some kind of rapport with you, or some kind of, not necessarily rapport, but some kind of, it's already established that you guys like each other. So if you ask a woman out on a date, you hug her, you can place your hand on her lower back as you lead her, like, hey, let's sit over there. You put your hand on her lower back and you go over there. As for going to bar setting, you kind of have to build up to that situation. So you just met her. You shake her hand and stuff like that. And then you might, depending on how the situation goes, you can lead her. So this is something I left out. Leading is not necessarily, this is mainly for if you're at a bar setting. So if you're at a bar setting and you guys are having a conversation, you guys are liking each other, you can be like, hey, yo, let's sit over there. And if she follows you, that's a good sign that she likes you. So always sit beside a girl. If you're on a date, don't sit across. Sit beside. You want to get close to her. So maybe you guys are sitting across. You be like, hey, why don't you come over here? Come over here and sit beside me. Invite her to sit beside you. While she's sitting beside you, you guys are talking. You see that she's leaning in and stuff like that. With the body language and stuff like that. You might start like rubbing her shoulders or just rubbing her thigh a little bit, and it's just creating that sexual vibe. Then you can whisper in her ears and just whisper in her ear and just like, you look so good in that dress. I just want to get you out of that dress tonight. I'm gonna be honest with you, or something like that. That's what I usually say. And that right there is going to get her, real gushy, because you're building up that tension and stuff like that. Now, if logistics aren't right, or she has to get up in the morning or something like that, the sex might not happen on the first date per se. But the thought of sex is already in her mind. Like, she's going to be thinking about it. And then that tension, once the tension is up, you want to keep it high. And it'll eventually get released. So, like, logistics might not be right. So let's just say, at the end of the day, you'd be like, you should come back to my place. And she's like, no, I don't got to work. You do not, this is important, do not react to that. Because if she sees your face like react and you got like a frown on your face or something like that, then you're not going to have sex with her. What you do is you very calmly, you say something along the lines of, you know what, that's completely fine. I mean, we got each other's number. Just hit me up and then, I'll see you around. So then you leave it at that. Assuming she enjoyed the date, she's probably going to hit you up and say something like, oh, I really had fun tonight. That was good. And you say, yeah, I have fun too. That was good. You probably wait a week and you invite her, and then you invite her over your place. And then since the tension's already high, since the tension is already high, 9 times out of 10, you'll have sex the second date. But the point is, you have to build sexual tension. You can't expect sex to happen without sex. Yes, sex can still happen without sexual tension, but you're leaving up the chance. And I'm gonna say, like, it'll happen like 99.9% of the time. You have to build sexual tension for sex to happen. 99.9% of the time you have to build sexual tension for sexual tension, because a woman has to get comfortable being sexual around you. And a lot of when due to our society and stuff like that, it's stigmatized for women to be like outwardly sexual and stuff like that. They get looked at as quote unquote sluts and stuff like that. So you have to invite her to be sexual. Your invitation is non-judgmental, and you do these 3 things in this video, you're going to be building sexual tension. So invite her to be you. Touch her. Speak nice and sensual, nice and soft, and move slowly. Oh yeah, those slow movements. You moving slowly, you look confident, it's smooth. It's just sexual. Like, when you ever see in Hollywood movies when 2 people are staring into each other's eyes, and the moment slows down, and then it creates that moment right before the kiss. That only happens when things move slow. If you guys are both moving fast, because they're, let's just say you look in her eyes and you're just staring at her. You're looking at her, and it's very slow, and she's gonna pause, and it creates that slow moment in which there's tension. There's tension in that moment, so don't ruin it with a joke or anything like that. Let that tension stir. Let her break the tension. So she might change the subject, but then the tension might happen again. But that slow kind of pauses and stuff like that, that's tension. So move slowly, smoothly, sexually. Touch her slow. Speak slow, get smooth, and move slow. Slow movements are right on for building sexual tension. As always, if you consider the information in this video helpful, slide that like button, give me a sub, and there's always more to come.